Что ж, всем привет. От Киберпанк 2077 я до сих пор не остыл. Может быть, мы к нему вернемся. И пока залечим раны моей любимой игрой, которая у меня связана с детством, с первыми игровыми опытами в полноценные игры. Broken Sword игрался на консоли друга вместе с другом. Ну как, он играл, я сидел, смотрел, иногда обсуждали. В основном обсуждали. Broken Sword игрался вместе с первыми версиями Resident Evil. В смысле, версиями с первым Resident Evil. Тогда еще никакой речи не шло о том, что будет второй. Первый Silent Hill, первые Чужие. Кто у нас там еще был? Apes Odyssey. Или Exodus. Не помню, какая первая часть была. Что еще у нас было тогда первым, уникальным? После того самого диска. Первый PlayStation шагающего динозавра. Не помню даже уже. В общем, с игрой связаны очень классные воспоминания. Мы буквально играли в тот момент в мультик. И это не верилось, что такое возможно. Всюду, где мы застревали, нам приходилось самим пробираться. Потому что никаких интернетов, никаких игр, журналов и ничего такого не было. Спросить можно было только у тех, у кого была другая такая же консоль с такой же игрой. Таких почти не было, поэтому приходилось страдать. Например, в первой части есть головоломка с козлом, на которой мы капитально застряли на несколько месяцев. И в какой-то момент прошли случайно. Игру я с тех пор перепроходил несколько раз. Как решить головоломку с козлом, я не помню. Будем разбираться. Давайте. Так, в новой версии игры завезли режим, который имеет под собой такую опцию «История». Что же выбрать? Я очень не люблю повторяющиеся действия. Автоматические подсказки для ненавязчивой помощи. Могу изменить это потом. Давайте тогда классику оставим. Тык. Мышка. Я ее уже запускал для того, чтобы протестить. Здесь, конечно, прекрасная история, что здесь вначале есть вот такой милый туториал. Туториал в point-and-клике. Да, еще у игры нестандартный формат. 1920 на 1200. Он никак не меняется, а я не хочу игру зарезать по высоте, чтобы она была по ширине, заняла полный экран. Поэтому оставим с небольшими кашешками справа и слева.
Paris in the fall, the last months of the year and the end of the millennium. The city holds many memories for me, of cafes, of music, of love, and of death.
Еще мы играем в новую версию, в которой графика была перерисована. До конца не знаю, как она выглядит. Вроде как рисовалась по исходникам старой версии. Если что, у меня в комплекте есть и исходные 96-го года, почти 30-летней давности. Ну, попробуем Reforged. И в русском стиме нету локализации, так что мне пришлось хитрым способом накатить пиратский перевод от нового диска, по-моему, на оригинальную игру. Диалоги оставил неозвученными. В смысле, не переведенными. Что-то у меня ощущение, что ролики они апскейлнули.
Поднялся, в ушах стоял непрерывный гул.
В смысле?
Жизнь вокруг меня шла своим чередом, но мою жизнь взрыв изменил навсегда.
Я же убирал дубляж. Алло! Вот блин.
Зонт защитил меня от ударной волны.
Так, нет, это не годится. Стопэ. Это очень дурацкий звук. Сейчас мы это пофиксим. Так, давайте-ка я вам что-нибудь включу пока что. Каминчик включу. Сейчас игру будем перезапускать. Так, не годится. Так. Сейчас мы это все быстро пофиксим. Исправляем исправленные в прямом эфире. Так, что из этого у нас может быть звуком? Так, это у нас явно текст. Так, секундочку. Небольшой фальстартик. Угу. Так, все, мы вернулись. Здесь очень специфичный юмор будет. Господи, как приятно вернуться в любимую игру. Сорян, походу, какое-то время не было звука от игры, да? Ну, сейчас она вернулась. Мы не доктор, но бренди женщине нальем. Так. Давайте-ка эту штуку здесь сейчас скрою. Она мешает.
Agitated, he kept looking about him at the door at his watch.
As if he was waiting for someone?
Yes, I suppose so. He was worried about something, that's for sure. If you ask me, he was having an affair. That look about him, like a guilty butler.
Did the clown speak to the old man?
No, he just laughed at him. Then he grabbed the old man's briefcase and ran out of the door.
Did you see what the old man had in his briefcase?
No, he didn't open it.
What did the old man do when the clown snatched his briefcase?
Nothing. He just sat there like he was frozen.
Did the old man try to stop the clown?
Oh, he didn't have a chance. The clown dropped his accordion and ran out of the door. That's it. That's all I can remember.
Stay here, mademoiselle. I'm going to look around for evidence.
Угу.
The waitress was clearly suffering from shock.
Evidence, evidence, evidence.
The dead guy's staring eyes turned my knees to jelly. I checked his pockets. Nothing.
Так, ничего.
I considered straightening the table, but I figured it best not to disturb the evidence.
Вроде здесь больше ничего нету.
I considered straightening the table,
Мгм.
but I figured it best not to disturb the evidence.
На столе он одинаково реагирует, да?
The blast had blown out the glass, leaving a gaping hole. I examined the jagged glass remaining in the window. It was broken, all right. Hey!
Huh?
Stay here, mademoiselle. I'm going to look around for evidence.
Я пока ничего не добьюсь.
Please, hold it right there.
Oh, don't shoot. I'm innocent. I'm an American.
Make up your mind, huh?
I demand to see the
Drop your weapon and get down on the ground.
Отличные шуточки.
I apologize, monsieur, but I cannot permit you to leave.
Am I under arrest?
No, I would simply like to ask you some questions. En avant, to the cafe, now.
What a mess. This bombing is an outrage, is it not?
Stop that, monsieur. Stop holding your breath at once.
Has it occurred to you that he may be dead, moved?
Oui, monsieur, but I prefer to look on the bright side. Besides, I recall a case where the killer escaped by feigning death. However, in this case, the man is quite dead. Clearly, the killer knew of his presence and...
How many times have I warned you about premature extrapolation? All we know is that he is dead.
It seemed reasonable to assume...
A great detective assumes nothing. Take Maigret, for instance.
But he was a fictitious character, monsieur. Why? He was no more real than Poirot or Tintin.
That's different, Moo. They were comedy Belgians. Anyway, it is unlikely that even you will learn much from talking to the dead. Examine the girl and take her statement, if you can.
Диалоги здесь все еще прекрасные.
She is in a fit state for questioning, monsieur. It smells to me as if she has been drinking.
As
Ага.
we have stumbled upon a den of iniquity, Moo.
Leave her to me, sir. I am used to handling drunken women.
I do not doubt that for one moment. Et maintenant, to business. Your name, please?
George Stobart. I'm from California.
And what brings you to Paris, Monsieur Stobart?
Travel. I'm touring Europe.
You chose well. The city is most beautiful at this time of year, no?
Yeah, I guess so. Apart from the bomb blasts.
Were you in the vicinity of the cafe at the time of the explosion?
Yeah, I was sitting out on the sidewalk. I was lucky I wasn't killed. The inspector passed over my remark with no reaction.
Did you see the deceased enter the cafe?
Давайте скажем, что мы видели.
Yes, I did.
Was he alone?
Yeah.
And did he say anything to you?
No. He was more interested in the waitress.
Did you see anyone else in the cafe?
Yeah, there was a guy dressed as a clown. He was carrying an accordion.
An accordion? Bon, the picture is forming in my mind, and it is not a pretty one. Is the girl all right, Moo?
She'll live if she survives the hangover. She doesn't remember seeing a clown, monsieur.
That's odd, don't you think, monsieur? Who am I to believe? I wonder. Eh bien, I have heard enough.
То есть, если бы я не дал ей выпить, было совсем по-другому, видимо, да?
No, nothing. You may leave. I hope this little incident does not spoil the rest of your vacation.
What about my personal safety? Can't you at least give me some advice?
What can I say? Stay alert and look out for suspicious character.
Character.
Don't cross the road until the little man shows green.
Great advice.
I honestly believe you are in no danger, monsieur. Should you remember anything of importance, please contact me. My card.
Так, нам дали телефон.
Thanks.
That is all. You may go.
There's not much to go on, monsieur.
On the surface, no. But what lurks inside the subconscious? If the door can only be opened.
Are you serious, monsieur? I thought your interest in psychic detection was purely academic.
Academic? You are about to witness a scientific breakthrough.
Причем у него плащ явно отсылка на Колумба. Сам он чисто... Господи, Холмс.
The sergeant was a scrawny man in his 50s who resembled a constipated chicken. Excuse me, Sergeant.
You heard the inspector. Go on, monsieur.
I was one of the last people to see the victim alive, Sergeant.
Does that worry you?
Yes, it does. I feel I owe it to him to find his killer.
That is best left to the authorities, monsieur. Did he speak to you? Tell you anything?
No, he just grinned and nodded.
Don't let it trouble you, monsieur. Go home and try to forget.
Look, Sergeant, the inspector gave me his card.
Yes, monsieur. He wants you to advise him if you have any information concerning this case.
Well, I'd be glad to talk with him, but I don't want him working his psycho weirdness on me.
Psycho weirdness.
You are confusing the science of parapsychology with witchcraft.
Oh yeah? What's the difference?
We don't do sacrifices.
Господи.
I really did see the clown. He ran into the alley across the street.
Did you follow him?
That's your job, not mine.
An armed chase through the streets of Paris? That's not our style, monsieur. Inspector Rousseau may be unorthodox, but he's not crazy.
How did you and Rosso arrive at the scene of the explosion so quickly? You arrived within minutes. Was it a tip-off?
Inspector Rosso's sources are a perpetual mystery to me, monsieur. There are some who say he has made a pact with the devil.
And what do you think?
I think he is the devil.
Did you find the victim's briefcase yet?
No, sir. The inspector gave me specific instructions to guard this door. Until he countermands these orders or backup arrives, here I stay.
What is Rosso doing with that girl?
He is giving her the once-over, as you Americans say.
Huh?
Once he gets his teeth into a case, nothing will shake him off.
Was he serious about all that psycho detective stuff?
Of course, Inspector Rosso is a pioneer and a visionary. His revolutionary methods, once perfected, may change the face of law enforcement forever.
I can't see it taking off in L.A. I've got Inspector Rosso's address card.
Yes, monsieur. You showed me before.
Класс.
See you later, Sergeant.
See you later.
The card read, Augustin Rosso, and gave an address to the south of the Montparnasse Cemetery. Excuse me, Sergeant.
Please go away, monsieur.
I've got Inspector Rosso's address card.
Yes, monsieur. You showed me before.
Прекрасно. Так, управление меню. Дайте-ка я в меню поменяю одну штуку. Громкость речи явно надо повыше. Ох, вот она наша Никошечка.
The girl presented a confident but sullen mask to the world, an expression more suited to the face of a delinquent youth. Excuse me, mademoiselle? Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Oh, an American by the sound of it.
Какой акцент.
On holiday in Paris. Some
Какая
holiday.
женщина.
You were here when the bomb went off?
Sure was. Sat right out front of the cafe.
Did you notice a middle-aged man, maybe 60, with an hat and overcoat?
I couldn't believe it. She hadn't even asked how I was feeling. Yeah, he went inside just before the bomb exploded. You weren't related to him, were you?
Oh no, nothing like that. I am Nicole Collard from La Liberté.
What's that, some kind of nightclub?
No, it is a newspaper.
You're a reporter?
I'm a freelance photojournalist.
Say, you can interview me about the bombing. You know, an eyewitness account. Minutes after the outrage that shook the whole of Paris. You know, real-life drama, human interest, that kind of stuff.
I'll just stick to the facts, frankly. Did you see who planted the bomb?
I know it sounds crazy, but it was dressed like a clown.
Oh God, it's him again.
Have you met the clown before?
It's a long story.
I have plenty of time.
I don't.
Who was the guy you were supposed to meet?
His name was Planter. I didn't know him, but he called me last night. He said he had a story which would interest me. He asked me to meet him at the cafe. I guess I'll never know what he wanted to tell me.
Not unless you have Rosso's gift for psychic interrogation. Why won't you tell me about this clown?
Why do you want to get involved?
Because he almost killed me. Isn't that reason enough?
I guess so. Listen, I'll give you my phone number.
Так, еще один номер.
You help me with my story and I'll let you in on what I know. And let's get one thing straight right now. This is strictly business.
Okay, it's a deal.
I have to go develop these pictures. À bientôt, monsieur.
Fine, I'll see you soon.
Я же у нее еще не все спросил, алло.
It was an iron lamppost. I considered climbing the lamppost, but it wasn't going to shed any light on the affair.
Ну вот, Ника ушла. Ой-ой-ой, подожди, я этого чувака не спросил. Интересно, у него про Нику есть какая-то инфа? Да блин, не то.
Scrawny man in his 50s who resembled a constipated chicken. Excuse me, Sergeant.
Yet,
I know the identity of the dead guy. His name was Plantar.
is that so? You knew him, did you?
No, but
We'll know everything there is to know about him soon enough.
I'm trying to be helpful here.
The best way you can help us is to go home, monsieur.
See you later, Sergeant. The muscular workman wore a morose expression, like a silent warning to leave him to get on with his job. Hi, can you spare a few minutes?
I thought you'd been arrested.
No, it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, I thought that was it. Those automatics pack quite a punch, you know?
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist? Ha!
He was only doing his duty, I guess. Did you see an old guy with a briefcase?
Wait, silly old coot. Do you know what he said to me? Work fascinates me, he says. I could watch it all day. Кердит. I could have knocked his block off.
Какой агрессивный.
Did you recognize the old man?
No. Should I have done? Was he a celebrity?
No, but I guess he is now. His name was Plantar.
What? He's dead then?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Now I wish I hadn't called him what I did. If only I could turn back the clock. If only I'd been more tolerant.
Regret and remorse are strange emotions. They really bring out the hammiest actors in people. Did you see a clown come by this way?
A clown? Like in a circus?
Yeah, with makeup and a big red nose.
Oh, those guys are funny, aren't they?
Not in my experience.
I love the circus, especially the horses.
You haven't answered my question. Have you seen a clown?
You think I've got time to watch everyone who passes by? Some of us have to work for a living.
Look, I know you're busy, but surely you'd have noticed a clown.
I told you already. I didn't see a thing.
He was wearing multicolored baggy trousers and makeup.
It'd be a poor sort of clown if he didn't.
Take a look at this.
You told me you weren't a cop.
Don't shout about it. I'm working undercover.
Who are you looking for?
That's confidential. Listen, I have to find that clown. He's a killer.
Why would I want to help the cops?
Community spirit. Together we can combat crime and stuff.
How do you know this guy's a killer? Did you see him in action?
Didn't you hear the explosion? The cafe was blown up.
The clown killed the old man?
That's right. Blew him up with a bomb concealed in his squeeze box.
Merde. But why did he
Merde.
of dressing up like a clown?
Who can unravel the tangled logic of a killer's mind? I guess it's some deep-seated psychological need.
Господи, какие же тут прекрасные тексты. Напоминаю, игре 30 лет.
I gotta go.
Don't let me keep you.
Так, у нас есть телефон.
It was a huge and weighty-looking engineer's telephone.
Don't touch that phone.
Sorry. It was a battered metal toolbox.
Hey, stop that. Get away from there.
Так,
What
не-
do you think you're doing?
I was admiring your toolbox.
Are we? Had a good look, have you? I'm warning you, if you touch it, I'll crack your nut.
Okay, I get your point. Hey, you!
What do you want now?
I
Так,
gotta go.
Don't let me keep you.
Set into the huge gate was a smaller access door. The door was securely locked. The door was securely locked.
мгм. Помню, что за этой дверью кто-то был. Вот она наша карта. Полиция, кафе. В полицию пока не пойдем. Еще там не все осмотрел. Так. Туда у нас убежал, по-моему, клоун. С чемоданчиком. Так, один момент. Сейчас подойду. Так, проулочек. Ух, сколько здесь сразу всего.
The drain pipe looked as if it would bear my weight. I took a deep breath and prepared to climb the drain pipe. I guess the clown had an escape over the rooftops. The window was protected by stout-looking iron bars.
Угу.
It was a battered old trash can. It was a stack of cardboard boxes which had once contained bottles of wine. I examined the boxes closely. They were damp and smelly and decidedly empty. It was a battered old trash can. It smelled like someone had dumped a truckload of fish in a locker room on a hot summer afternoon. It was a battered old trash can.
Что-то я в упор не помню, кем он работает. Класс. Котик. Кися. Убежал кися.
It was a plastic crate. I'd had it with sticking my nose into French trash cans. There was nothing of interest. It was an iron cover concealing the entrance to a drain or sewer. I tried to lift the cover with my fingers, but couldn't gain any leverage.
Так, нам надо найти ключ, чтобы открыть бак, насколько я помню.
The drain pipe hung limp and useless. I decided I'd had enough of messing with that drain pipe.
Газета. Я забыл про газету.
I contemplated crawling under the umbrella and pretending none of this had ever happened. Wrapped around the lamppost was a newspaper. The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. That was the only news story. The rest was rumor, gossip, and sensationalism. Then I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read Salah ad-Din, 1345.
Угу. Газетка. Доступна новая справка по управлению. Посмотрите сейчас. Что? Ага. Так, ну это я и так уже делаю, помню об этом. И комбинация. Ага. Так.
It was a Paris daily tabloid newspaper, full of sex, scandal, and sports results. Excuse me, Sergeant.
Yes.
found this in the street, Sergeant.
That, monsieur, is a newspaper, no?
There's a note written on it. Salah Eddin, 1345.
Ah, so the meeting with the clown was planned.
How do you make that out?
The time of the explosion was between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, n'est-ce pas?
I guess so. But what about the name?
Aha!
That stumped you, hasn't it?
I have never been stumped, as you put it, in my life, monsieur. It is the name assumed by the clown, no?
Salah Eddin the clown? I don't think so. Did I show you this newspaper?
Yes, monsieur.
See you later, Sergeant.
Мне прям каждый раз слышится, что он сейчас скажет see you later, alligator. Так. По-моему, ему надо дать газету, и он тогда свалит наперекор.
What's in the toolbox? As if you didn't know. What's the big deal about tools, anyhow?
They're cool. Tools are civilization.
You don't say.
That's right. Tools are what distinguish us from other animals.
Who are you calling an animal? I've met your sort before. Looking down your nose at me because I'm working class, eh? I've a good mind to knock your block off.
Would you like to read my newspaper?
I haven't got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and
Прекрасно.
complaining.
Да-да-да, сейчас мы сделали правильно.
Ah, look at this. Damn bleeding out liberals. Yeah, save the dolphins. Catch them and eat them, I say. All that fuss over a bunch of fish. Nah, that's more like it. Look at the size of those. Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this? Salah-Eddin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend. Bucephalus reborn, mon ami. Like a streak of lightning she is.
Давай, иди.
Favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole.
Конечно, посмотрю за ямой.
The money on that night.
What about your toolbox?
Stop it. Help yourself.
Угу. Даже прямое разрешение дает. Смотрите, какой классный гном. Ток-ток-ток-ток-ток-ток-ток-ток. Все, иди, ставь. Делай свои ставки. Так.
I'd found just what I wanted.
Угу.
Manhole covers.
Отлично.
It was a metal rod with a handle at one end and a short cross piece at the other.
Так.
It was a huge and weighty-looking engineer's telephone.
А я могу позвонить только ей, да? Ой. Кулер.
Hi, it's George Stobart, the American at the cafe.
Ah, oui.
You said to call if I could help.
Have you any news for me?
Well, I haven't had a lot of luck.
You found nothing.
No.
Look, I'm very busy right now. Call me if you have any news, okay?
Oh. Yeah, I guess.
Adieu, monsieur.
Yeah, see ya.
Adieu, monsieur.
It was a tent made out of plastic sheeting. There was nothing inside the tent except a large toolbox.
Так, а если я сделаю вот так? Он не может позвонить этому, понятно. Так, если сюда еще раз.
The door was securely locked.
Заперто. Ай! Случайно свернул. Идем сюда. Пойдем открывать люк. Люк, ты наш отец.
I lifted the cover to reveal what smelled like the entrance to a sewer.
Нравится, как легко длиннющие предметы прячутся в одежде во всех играх.
The heavy cast iron cover.
Такое классное
The
допущение.
cover was too heavy and awkward to lift with my bare hands.
Полезли. Понимаете, что 30 лет назад это буквально был мультик.
It was a shiny red plastic ball sat incongruously on the slippery green slimed floor. As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized it was intended to be worn.
Так, мы нашли клоунский нос.
It was the clown's red nose. The nose was hollow. Printed on the inside were the words La Risée du Monde, Paris.
Мгм. Дохлый крыс. Хм.
It was a soggy, crumpled paper tissue. I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was cold and greasy, like breakfast leftovers. It was the soggy tissue I'd found in the sewers. No. It was a small scrap of cloth caught on the rusting spike. I took hold of the scrap of material and unsnagged it from the spike. It was the scrap of material I'd found in the sewer. The railing was put there for a simple reason: to stop people getting past. It worked.
Опа.
Hi there.
Hold it right there, you sewer rat. I knew you'd come back. And now I've got you.
What are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there, immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
Антош,
You
ты
won't
что там
catch me
кричишь?
with tricks like that. Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay, okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
I was looking for a clown.
Huh, ridiculous. Do you really expect me to believe that?
He planted a bomb in the cafe and blew it up.
What? The cafe? Blown up? Mon Dieu. That is awful. And you say the person responsible was dressed as a clown?
That's right. He blew up the cafe, escaped into the sewer, changed his clothes, and came up here.
Mon Dieu. And then, the man I chased. Do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes. they
Так,
have-
сорян, кошачья угроза.
That still does not explain what you are doing down the sewer. For all I know, you are in league with him.
Oh no, I'm just a tourist.
Most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipes were such an attraction.
Дурик Антошка бесоюз в коридоре.
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
What is there to tell? He was a typical criminal type, just like you.
Just like you.
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't. Who is he?
The man who was killed in the cafe. I'm gonna find the guy responsible. I'll find it. Even if it means following him down every sewer in every city in Europe.
Ah, you need some sensible boots. You won't get far in those stupid sneakers.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
Oh, hey, she isn't hurt, is she?
No, she's fine.
Oh, thank heavens. A poor girl like her isn't safe with the likes of you roaming the streets.
Can't you understand? I'm not a gangster. I'm an American tourist.
Ah, that's what you say.
Очень
The
злободневная
guy
игра.
you saw carrying a briefcase?
I didn't notice. Now are you going to leave? Or do I have to call the police?
Do you recognize this material?
I am not telling you anything.
Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid Division?
Homicide. I think the ink's smudged.
Then you are not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you. And I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, monsieur. You know, I had a feeling there was something different about you. It is your posture, your poise. Oh, yes. There is no mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know. I was in the army, you know. When I was your age, I was fighting for my life in the African desert. How can I help you, Inspector?
Let's start over from the beginning. And tell it just like it was. Tell me about the man you apprehended.
He was
Ну, конечно, все выдаем за полицейского, это преступление, но...
His face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron, but he did not know what he was up against. Oh no, he made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture. Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
So you don't want to hear about my experiences in the desert? I fought to make this country what it is today.
I'm sure you did, but I'm a little short of time. Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
You can't suspect her, surely.
Just answer the question, please.
Yes, I know her. Quite well, you could say. She came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
Really? So you'd miss her if she wasn't there?
Ben oui. Who else would I find to cut my toenails?
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, he was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
Oh, what do you think was in it? Drugs, stolen jewels.
I don't know, but the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
Take a look at this false nose.
Aha, that looks like a clown's nose to me.
Precisely. He must have dropped it in his pants.
Антон, ты нашел, конечно, когда ныть.
He wanted you to find it,
Что ты хочешь?
Why would he want to do that?
to put you off the scent.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur. It's disgusting. What on earth possessed you to show it to me? Someone had emptied their nostrils into it.
Does this piece of material mean anything to you?
That is the same cloth as the jacket I found. I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
Now, about the jacket you found. Do you have it here?
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair. A pity, because otherwise it was a fine piece of quality tailoring. It had the tailor's name inside on the label.
Так.
Where did you send the jacket?
I gave it to an itinerant Romani seamstress.
Just my luck. Was there anything in the jacket pockets?
Not as so. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind.
Так, секундочку, еще один момент. Так, ложная тревога.
What was the name on the label?
It was a foreign name. Todrick, I think.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
Так.
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98 08 59.
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
Yes, that's it. A little trick with numbers that I learned in the desert. I was taught the technique by a Tuareg shaman.
That's incredible.
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout. Do I get a reward?
Honesty, monsieur, is its own reward.
Then I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
Прекрасно. Так,
I have to be going. Thanks to your help, the citizens of Paris can sleep a little easier tonight.
Vraiment? I was only doing my duty, monsieur. Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon. I'll let you out.
Там дверь есть. Не надо меня наружу.
I hope you find your man, Inspector.
So do I. Hi there, remember me?
Mais oui, Inspector. Have you found him?
Who?
The man in the sewer, of course.
I'm, sifting through the evidence.
Rather you than me, monsieur. So, when you are not exploring sewers, what do you do?
I take a lot of showers.
Oh, very good, monsieur. A policeman with a sense of humor.
Так,
I have to be going.
Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon.
ты зайти мне не дает, да? Видимо, опять через канализацию надо. Изменилось ли у нас там что-то? Нет.
Sergeant Move?
Yes.
I've tracked down the clown's movements, Sergeant.
Is that so, monsieur?
Yeah. There's a man down the street who saw him crawling out of the sewer.
Dressed as a clown?
No, he changed into ordinary clothes by there.
So, how did he know it was the clown?
He didn't, but all the clues add up.
Little children can add up, but I wouldn't let them manage my bank account.
I believe this material came from the clown's clothing.
If you are right, monsieur, then the clown must be an Englishman.
How do you figure that?
Only the English would wear a suit made from material like that.
Don't you like the English?
It is not so much a question of liking, rather one of taste. They have none.
Прекрасно.
Do you recognize this dirty tissue?
No, monsieur, I do not.
I found it in the sewer.
Perhaps it would be better if you put it back there.
No way. This could be an important clue.
If you say so, monsieur.
Господи, какой глупенький.
This dirty tissue.
Подожди, я поток уже показывал,
No,
нет.
monsieur.
Я промахнулся.
I found this red nose in the sewer.
What were you doing down there?
Fishing for clues. That's where the clown went.
You still insist you saw a clown, monsieur?
Of course. And this novelty nose proves it.
It It will take more than a plastic proboscis to convince Inspector Rousseau.
You don't want this as evidence, then?
Certainly not, monsieur.
See you later, Sergeant.
Bonjour, Kula.
It's me again, George Stobart.
Hi, George. Any news?
You bet. I met a
Any
witness who
news?
spoke to the clown. And I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Look, why don't you come here?
М,
Fine. Where do you live?
Француженка приглашает калифорнийца к себе домой. Так, подожди, я еще хотел в другое место позвонить.
Hello? Who is this?
Алло?
Hi. My name's George Stobart. You don't know me. Correct, Mr. Stobart. I don't. What can I do for you? Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you? No. No, that's not possible. Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name. What are you talking about? Who are you working for? I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice. Thank God. I thought you were the police. There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save. You're collecting for charity, yes? No, I'm not. All I want from you is information. Go on. I'm listening.
Так,
Do you know a guy called Plantar? No, I never heard of him. Shall I tell you what happened to Plantar? How he was killed in cold blood? I told you, I never heard of Plantar. What do you know about the clown who bombed the Café de la Chandelle Verte? I don't have no idea what you're talking about. You're cool, Todrick. But I think you know more than you're saying. I don't know who you be, but sure I am you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you're saying that to make me think you don't know what I mean, but... Oh, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick. I tell you, I know nothing about no clown. Did you know that one of your customers was a part-time clown? If a guy feels happy with a funny nose and custard down his pants, what's the problem?
прекрасно.
I expect Plantar's a family man, don't you? In their little apartment, Madame Plantar is cooking the supper, listening for the familiar sound of her husband's key in the door. Junior is waiting for his daddy to come home from work. He can't wait to show him the merit marks he earned in school today. Only
Какой
tonight,
прессинг.
Monsieur Plantar won't be coming home. You forgot the puppy. Huh? You faithful puppy dog, waiting for the sound of his master's voice. Maybe they don't have a dog. What do you think? I don't know, Plantar. I never heard of Plantar. None of this has anything to do with me.
Господи,
Thanks for
божественно.
Todrick.
Лучший допрос десятилетия. Так, у нас есть полицейский участок и квартира Николь. Предлагаю сходить в полицейский сначала.
The policeman was not much older than me. His face wore an expression of intense concentration. Excuse me.
Not so fast. I'd like your personal details, please. Huh? What for? In the event of an accident. It would help us to know where to send the body.
Look, is this really necessary? I came in here to talk to Rosso.
Oh, why did you not say?
Have you had any reports concerning a suspicious clown?
Why, yes. There was a fracas only this morning. 3 arrests for public disorder.
And you say there was a clown involved?
A clown and a particularly offensive piece of sculpture
Что?
with balloons. Are you in any way involved with the reprobate, monsieur?
No, not me. May I see Inspector Rosso?
He is not here, but do you wish to leave a message for him? I have a choice of blue or black pen. I'd recommend the blue for a less formal communication.
I'd prefer to talk to him in person.
And you would, monsieur?
Is Sergeant Moo available?
What? You want to speak to him?
Yes, please.
I cannot recall the last time someone asked to speak to Moo. No one ever speaks to him. Not even his kids.
Это грустно.
He's not here, monsieur. He is with Inspector Rousseau. Like Laurel and Keaton. No, monsieur?
Hardy. Oliver Norville Hardy. Do you know anything about Rosso's psychic techniques?
I cannot comment on my superior's methods. All I will say is that Inspector Rousseau has an impressive record.
He's a good detective?
One of the best. He's a man of honor, with a fine sense of duty.
You wouldn't say he was... a screwball?
Not to his face, monsieur.
I found this tissue.
What the hell is that?
It's evidence.
Evidence of what? Mayonnaise smuggling?
The sticky stuff is grease paint.
Ah, and that is supposed to make me happy, is it? I suggest you think long and hard about what you are doing with your life, monsieur.
I found this scrap of material in the sewer.
Vraiment?
It was probably torn from the clothes of a psychotic killer.
Even if you were Sherlock Holmes, I would have trouble believing you.
Короче, эти все предметы в диалогах хочется щелкать только для того, чтобы услышать вот прекрасные эти реплики.
A clown's nose?
That's right. The guy who wore this is a savage killer.
If you say so, monsieur.
Have you any idea what this tool is used for?
Oui, monsieur. It is a dipstick.
Thanks for your help, officer.
Так, здесь мы ничего не найдем, значит, пока что, да?
It was a public telephone.
Так, если еще раз Тодрику набрать.
Hello? Who is this? Mr. Todrick? Oh, it's you again. What now? Forget it.
Так, ну, пойдемте к Николь. Господи, какая прелесть.
The shop window featured a display of gowns and women's stuff.
Women's stuff.
It wasn't the style of the clothes in the shop that caught my eye, but the prices. Out of money would feed a starving family for the rest of their lives. I guess people who buy that kind of stuff don't have a problem with their consciences. The shop window featured a display of
Кстати, я не помню, что там ездили машинки. Вот это, наверное, нововведение этой версии еще. Но еще у меня есть подозрение, что все-таки это все апскейлом сделали. Чего они не перерисовали этих вещей?
The woman was doing something with a pair of needles that couldn't be described as knitting. She was a cheery old soul, the kind you'd walk across the street with.
Стой.
The vacant shop was sealed with a steel blind. There was no way of lifting the securely locked blind. It was a food store selling fruit and vegetables. I glanced without much interest at the fruit. It was dusty, shriveled, and tired looking.
Так, давайте поболтаем теперь.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good, and it only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to. Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Thanks for telling me. What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity.
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat. You know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me, in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see, because of the damp. The landlord said he'd fixed it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. Your young lady, she deserves better.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep.
Ой.
That's awful.
Now don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know?
10 francs, please, my dear.
10 francs? That's a ripoff.
Please yourself.
How does this fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish. I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism. Either that, or I don't have a future.
What can you tell me about this material?
It's a very expensive piece of cloth, monsieur.
What can you tell me about this tissue?
Nothing?
Do you recognize this nose?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this tool?
Is it something a dentist would use?
No, it's for raising manhole covers.
Formidable.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
The door was shabby and in need of a coat of paint. I couldn't imagine the Collard woman living here.
Дом красивый-то, кстати. Чё началось?
I pushed the door gently just above the lock.
Интересно, я раньше не мог бы зайти, если бы я с ней не поговорил. Женщин, дверь запирать надо.
Bonjour.
Смотрите, какая подуха. Блин, надо Ане сказать.
I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George.
Знаю, кому показать эту подуху.
Eh bien? And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers beneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number. What's more, I know where he hired the clown suit, too.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck! Hard work, I'd call it. What happened?
I took my photographs to the editor, but he wasn't interested. Can you believe it? He told me to drop his story.
But you're not about to do that.
Oh no. I am going to find out what's behind this killing. You know what I think? It's a conspiracy. The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
That covers just about everyone. How did Plantar get your name?
For the newspaper, La Liberté, they had written an article linking 2 unsolved murders, one in Italy and the other in Japan. The cases were remarkably similar. A wealthy victim, no apparent motive, and a costume killer. Plantar said he could supply me with more information. Somehow, the clown must have known about our appointment.
Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Onno Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines and the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it! Millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off.
Was he killed for his money?
No.
И прошло 30 лет, а все еще все происходит то же самое, да?
The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was led to his death by a snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese green politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium. He was committed to dismantling Japan's automobile industry.
I can't see him gaining much support with a loony policy like that.
Yamada was a man of vision. He was years ahead of his time.
If you say so. How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say, flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
Что?
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown. You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you what, I won't be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance of a big break.
Or a premature death. You speak very good English for a French girl.
Thanks. You speak very good English from America.
May I use your telephone?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks.
Так.
Hello? Who is this? It's George Stobart again. What now? Forget it.
Ну, то есть явно мы ему можем еще позвонить.
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George, it's an enlargement I made.
Так.
Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh no?
Take a close look at his left cheek.
A scar. In the shape of a horseshoe.
Oh, a crescent moon.
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
I found this tissue down the sewer.
Oh, that's disgusting, George.
Yes.
I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use. Or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
I found this false nose in the sewer. It has La Risée du Monde printed inside it.
The laughing stock of the world. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
Why don't you put it on, George?
No way am I wearing this. I'd look really stupid. Besides, he might have had a cold. I showed you the red nose, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Why don't you pay a visit to the shop it came from?
I just might do that. This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but... Well, I had a job to do. Tell me more about yourself.
Oh, there is not much to tell.
Well, how did you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought my first camera. I was 8 and my parents had just split up.
Did you live with your father?
Yes, my mother went off with her new boyfriend. I don't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Ah, I'm sorry.
Well, it's all right. I don't mind talking about it. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted I should study art. That's why I went to college.
Did you learn about photography at college?
Oh, God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Do you have a boyfriend?
That's none of your business.
Do you want this photograph back?
No, you keep it. I can always make another print.
I'm going back out to search for that clown.
Where?
I guess I could visit the costume shop.
Good idea.
Так.
It was Nico's photograph of the man we suspected of killing Plantar. Oh, hi.
Тканька на фоточку заменилась.
Hello, my
Progress.
handsome friend.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
What a hunk.
He's a killer.
I can see that. His eyes say it all.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
The woman was doing something with a pair of needles that couldn't be described as knitting. She was a cheery old soul, the kind you'd walk across the street to avoid. Oh, hi.
Hello, my handsome friend.
Пока спросить
See you
нечего.
later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
Так. Проверим кафе.
Hey, you.
What do you want now?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
What kind of tools do you keep in your box?
Eh? You really are interested in tools?
Sure, like I said, tools are...
Yeah, civilization. So you keep saying.
So, are you gonna show them to me?
And why you?
Oh, come on. Just a little peek.
I got work to do. Find someone else to bother.
Угу.
I gotta go.
Don't let me keep you.
Так. Спросим этого чувака про нашего клетчатого бычка.
Hello again.
Yes, Inspector.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, I do. It's that villain I told you about.
I have to be going.
Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur.
It's the guy who bombed the cafe. The clown.
This man looks nothing like a clown.
He's taken off his grease paint and costume.
Then there is nothing to link this man with the killing.
Nothing? Look at those murderous eyes.
Hardly likely to get him convicted.
See you later, Sergeant.
Так, la risque du monde. О, какая красота, господи божечки. У нас только этот чувак, да, активен? Класс.
The guy's spoon-shaped face was mournful and humorless. He looked like a vegetarian in a slaughterhouse.
Господи.
Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind, but in these four walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible. You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie?
Господи.
I don't have a sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
I'm looking for a man who hired a clown costume from you.
Oui, monsieur. I do not see how I can help.
Don't you keep a record of costumes that you've rented out?
Of course, monsieur, but...
Well, then I'd like to check your records. Give me the names of everyone who's rented a clown suit.
Impossible. There are too many.
The clown I'm looking for is a cold-blooded killer. Give me his name, and I'll see he's brought to justice.
I'd help you if I could, but you can't expect me to remember all my customers. You see, the clown costume is our most popular line, monsieur. On average, we hire out more than 30 clown suits a week. You'll have to give me more to go by. A description, perhaps?
How come clowns are so popular?
I think it has something to do with their unpredictable nature.
Personally, I think clowns should be banned, along with mimes.
Oh, come now. Who doesn't love clowns?
Me, for one. Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui? He was here this morning.
Так, так.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
Are you sure this is the man who bought grease paint?
Oui, monsieur.
Have you heard of a man named Plantile?
I do not recall anyone of that name.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that.
Прекрасно.
Bestheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
Are you sure this is the man who bought grease paint?
Oui, monsieur. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very
Pixie?
smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Card.
Are you sure this is the same man who hired the clown suit?
Certainement, Monsieur Card.
Мгм. Так.
Do you want this red nose back?
Не-не-не-не-не.
After it's been worn, thank you.
What does this tool mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay.
Нет, 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 не надо.
What are you trying to do? Kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
Господи, божечки.
The guy's spoon-shaped face was mournful and humorless. He looked like a vegetarian in a slaughterhouse. The dummy wore a traditional Puro costume. At least, I guess it was a dummy. I gave the dummy Puro a tentative prod, but it didn't move. She reminded me of a girl I dated back in high school. Come to think of it, the dummy had more personality. As I was about to touch the dummy, I realized it had the same color eyes as Nico.
Ooh.
Strange thing was, I hadn't realized I'd noticed the color of Nico's eyes.
Как мило.
It was a disgustingly realistic plastic novelty, like one I'd left on the teacher's desk at school. Boy, that caused so much of a stink you'd have thought it was a real one. As my fingers closed on the plastic novelty, I realized my mistake. It was a novelty, all right, but it wasn't plastic.
Да. Тихо.
Excuse me,
Oui, monsieur?
do you want this buzzer back?
No, you keep it.
It was an antique phonograph, the kind you have to wind by hand.
Что? Какая прелесть. Очень веселый магазин.
Excuse me,
Oui, monsieur?
are you sure this is the
Так,
same
это значит уже повтор. Выходим.
Certainement, monsieur K.
Все, сюда мы не можем вернуться. Так что будет, если ей это предложить?
Oh, hi.
Hello, my handsome friend.
Would you like to shake my hand?
No, I wouldn't. I can see the future, remember?
See
Отлично.
you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
Он тоже выспался, и мне тут на фоне бесоебит по-всякому.
Salut, Josh. What news?
I've been to the costume shop.
Gif, I like it. What are you supposed to be?
I didn't hire a costume. These are my clothes, and you know it.
Did you ask about the clown?
Yeah. He used the name Khan. He hired 2 costumes, the clown and a pixie.
Then we won't jump ahead of him.
How do you make that out?
He probably plans to use the pixie suit next time he kills.
Oh, God, don't let it be me. I don't deserve to die at the hands of a pixie.
Don't be silly, George. That
Почему
won't happen.
Пикси переведен как эльф?
No, because every time you see a pixie, you're going to run like hell.
are you doing to help trace the killer clown?
Research, George.
Yeah? You have a copy of the clown's yearbook?
I have a telephone and lots
Мужик,
of
так ты не
contacts.
завоюешь.
Well, did you find anything useful?
Not yet. I'm employing my first and most useful weapon.
What's that?
Patience.
Oh,
Пищенс.
I've heard of that. Isn't it a substitute for decisive thinking?
Чё ты такой грубый, чел?
Have you found out any more about the murders?
Well, it may be nothing, but both the clown's victims visited Paris earlier this year.
When?
The second week of July. They were both here at the same time.
Did they meet?
I don't know, but I can't imagine it was coincidence.
Do you want this photograph back?
No, you keep it. I can always make another print.
The guy at the novelty shop gave me this.
What is it?
A hand buzzer. You put it in your hand and give people electric shocks.
Why?
It's a gag. A practical joke.
If you ever use it on me, I'll break your arm.
Okay,
Фига.
okay. I get the picture. May I use your telephone?
Так,
Go
мы
ahead.
имеем имя. Давайте позвоним опять. Опа! Какая прелесть. Тодрик. Хана вспомнишь?
The man I'm looking for is called Khan. He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan.
Yes, I remember him. Yes,
Remember him.
delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Umbu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
Так.
Now we're getting somewhere. Do you know the Hotel Ubu?
The Ubu? Yes, I do.
That's where the clown stayed.
Good work, George.
See you later.
Where are you going now?
I could go hang out at the Hotel Ubu.
Watch out for Khan, George.
Don't worry, I will.
Она пока терпит либо нас, либо то, что мы очень медленно все расследуем, да? Терпением она запаслась. Ну ладно. Так, отель Убу, пост де полис. Давайте пост де полис проверим. О, появился.
Excuse me.
Ah, Monsieur Stobart, n'est-ce pas?
That's correct. You remember
N'est-ce
me?
pas?
The retention of such data is part of my duty as a gendarme. That is our crime is fought through attention to detail, not intuition.
Yeah, sure. Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his left cheek.
No, monsieur. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur.
It's the guy who bombed the cafe. The clown.
This man looks nothing like a clown.
He's taken off his grease paint and costume.
Then there is nothing.
Почему все про это говорят?
Killing.
Nothing? Look at those murderous eyes.
Hardly likely to get him convicted.
Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur.
One moment, monsieur.
Stobart is here to see you, monsieur.
Did he say what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Very well.
Very well.
Hi, Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Mr. Stobart. My mind is a well-ordered faculty. A metal classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale. No tricks, mark you, monsieur. Just exercise. Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay. But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked. He was pompous and patronizing. He had style.
Eh bien, if you're cold about the bombing, you're too late. Investigations have been
В
closed,
смысле?
but I've been taken off the case.
Чё?
What about the murder of the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
Фига себе.
Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigation
Какой-то
without your
ты
help.
без искорки,
You
инспектор,
must
чувак.
forget the business of the clown completely. Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobard.
Стабард.
Did you find out the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
I heard that the bomb victim's name was Plantow.
Your sources are reliable.
He was a big shot at the Treasury, wasn't he? Maybe that's why you've been taken off the case.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I cannot comment.
What was that psycho-detective business you did in the cafe?
It is my theory that the passions evoked in violent crimes create ripples in the ether, invisible to all but the possessor of a highly developed and receptive mind.
I'm impressed. Can you bend spoons, too?
I didn't think a man of your obvious intelligence would stoop to mockery.
I'm not mocking. I've had personal experience of the power of the mind. I used to get ignored at parties until I read a book that changed my life.
Really? What was it called?
Hypnotism for fun and profit. He looked at me as if I'd farted at him.
The power of mesmerism is a rare gift, not a party trick.
Господи боже.
You're not going to try any of that psychic interrogation on me, are you?
Do you find the thought of my probing distasteful?
Let's just say I'd rather you didn't. I've got more doubts than doubting Thomas when it comes to mysticism.
Too bad. I think you would make an interesting subject under controlled regression.
The day I let anyone mess with my mind hasn't dawned yet. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No.
It's the face of a killer.
The man who bombed the cafe?
The photograph was taken soon after the explosion. He'd escaped through the sewers, leaving a trail of clues behind it.
Circumstantial evidence, Stobard. None of it proves a thing.
Would you care to shake my hand, Inspector?
Please don't be offended if I decline your offer, Stobard. The palms of my hands are particularly sensitive.
I found this tissue in the sewer.
It would have been best if you'd left it there.
Какие-то они все без энтузиазма.
Nose mean anything to you?
I'd imagine it means you have not given up your pursuit of the clown.
You're absolutely right. What do you make of this, Rosso?
It is a tool for gaining access to sewers.
So long, Inspector. Excuse me,
What do you want now?
is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Not really. See you later, Sergeant.
Bonjour, couleur.
Ой, привет, Ань.
Hi, it's George.
Не заметил.
I have the address of the killer's hotel.
If you're going to pay him a visit,
А я тут развлекаюсь.
that guy's a
Получаю невероятное удовольствие
I'll be fine.
от текстиков и шутеек. Так, здесь мы всюду были. Отправляемся в отель. Так. Вы смотрели на Сферату, тот, старый классический фильм, который стоит... А вы именно оригинальную версию посмотрели? Старую? Смотрели перед тем, как новую смотреть?
The guy looked just like a weasel. The man looked like an amiable Bigfoot.
Хорек и Йети. Восстановленную версию. Я вот не видел, и, если честно, немножко опасаюсь смотреть. То есть у меня ощущение, что я совлю какой-то кринж от этого. Я думал смотреть сразу новую. Так, ой, я же на них щелкал уже. Надо с ним поболтать, значит. Так, сначала окошко посмотрю. Как вам старые восстановленные? Чуть не уснул, кринжа не было. Так.
Have you heard of a guy called Plantar?
No, that name means nothing to me.
Аниме кино, так музыка усыпляет. Ну, это еще очень старое аниме кино.
No, I really am looking for a clown.
There are no clowns here except you.
Я помню, что я в детстве дико обожал чаплиновские огни большого города.
Do you know a man by the name of Khan?
No, I don't.
It's very important I get to see him, and
I told you, I don't know it.
do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
No, I never saw it.
Will you shake my hand?
Are you joking? Who knows where it has been?
Да, я каку в магазине трогал.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Are you serious?
Oh, yes. Take a good look at the substance it's smeared with.
You are sick. Very sick.
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
No.
И реально удовольствие просто кликать в эти предметы, просто чтобы узнать, что за ними скрываются, какие фразочки.
Forget it.
Давайте с этим поболтаем.
Excuse me. Yeah? Do you happen to know a guy named Khan?
That ain't nobody I know.
I'm sorry to be a burden on your brain. You ever meet a guy called Plantar?
No, I ain't.
You missed your chance. If you're quick, you'll catch him at the coroner's. Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
No, I ain't. Don't tell me I missed him. Oh, that's too bad. I love the clowns, don't you?
I've seen daytime television that was funnier.
I love it when the little guys get hurt.
That figures.
Busted face, hose pipe down the pants, then smack! A plank in the kisser.
Shake my hand.
Я бы не стал.
Oh, rats. Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
Is this a trick question?
No, I simply asked if you recognized him.
Okay then. No, I don't.
Do you recognize this tissue? Think carefully now.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
I'm gonna have to hurry you.
ooh.
Time's up, so I'll tell you. Here's tissue with a liberal dump of Bestheimer's number 12.
If you say so.
Так забавно видеть вот эти флаги. Это явно тоже обновленная часть. Из 3 мер вытащенные, вставлены уже в новую версию игры.
Nope.
What do these? Oh, never mind.
Так.
See you later.
Not if you see me first.
Так, посмотрим там сначала. Так. Здесь, видимо, пока что ничего нету, да? Здесь ничего нет. Реально ощущение, что они графику апскейльнули. Но скинули как-то через очень дешманскую версию. Странно. Так, подожди, я хочу сначала здесь посмотреть.
It was Nico's photograph of the man we suspected of killing Plantar. It was the shaken shock buzzer I'd been given by the man in the costume shop.
Мгм. По поводу того, чтобы смотрели старые Носферату перед новым, у меня сейчас такая дилемма, смотреть ли все, ну, кроме совсем старых версий «Планеты обезьян», перед той, которая номинирована сейчас на Оскар, или посмотреть только финальную. Сдается мне, что я буду смотреть их все. А вот с Носферату я пока не решил. Да, старый добрый квест. Вот этому квесту почти 30 лет. 28, если не ошибаюсь. Это версия, которая обновленная, переделанная. У меня есть дикое подозрение, что часть графики здесь обскинули какой-то нейронкой, но не очень хорошей. Но многое сохранили. По крайней мере, сохранили чумовой юмор, который здесь в некоторых репликах.
The woman was obviously English. She had all the qualities of Boadicea, Elizabeth I, and Margaret Thatcher rolled into one. It
Thatcher.
wasn't a pretty sight. It was a magnificent old Steinway piano.
Нет, сначала всех
I
разглядим.
recognized the guy. It was the Nobel Prize winner from the country whose name I couldn't pronounce.
Так, по-моему, здесь еще кто-то был. Если я правильно помню. Да.
The clerk wore a disdainful expression, like he'd been born with it. It was the register of guests staying at the hotel. Hanging from a brass hook was a key and a plastic tag.
Давайте по порядку начнем. Мне чуть запястье начало болеть, странно, причем левое. Кладу подушечку сейчас, но не могу понять, из-за чего она болит. У меня тоже так бывает. Причем, по-моему, бывает на обоих руках. Это чисто из-за переутомления кистей, когда очень долго мелкой моторикой занимаешься, бывает вот так начинает болеть. Возможно, это тот самый туннельный синдром. Грей, слегка массируй, но не сильно дави. И через несколько дней пройдет, но, скорее всего, вернется. Опять же, через время.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
Господи, старый дубляж. Какая
You
прелесть.
disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Почему именно сейчас? Только шью, и раньше много Майнкрафт играл, но болеть начало сейчас. Бывает накопительный эффект, точно так же, как с аллергиями. Просто вот у меня сейчас, например, постоянно болит шея и спина. И я от этого очень с большим трудом избавляюсь, активно делаю сам массаж, какое-то шевеление и так далее. Надо делать еще более активные зарядки и прочее. Это просто накопленный эффект от очень долгой работы за компьютером, сидение в одной позе, игра за консолью тоже этому не помогает. И очень много статичен. Теперь у меня накопилось, у меня болит. Так что, может быть, и у тебя такая же история. Не буду шутку про старость говорить.
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
Ой,
I have to go.
промахнулся. Не-не-не, подожди, не надо играть. Давай поговорим еще.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
По-моему, она мне поможет попозже.
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organizes fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian
Gangster.
suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in them. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
I guess I am.
Good heavens, I must be dreaming.
I don't think so, ma'am.
Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
I'm a detective. We do these things.
No, you're being ridiculous. If you can't supply me with a plausible explanation, I'm not interested.
Are you here in
Вита,
Paris on
не надо
vacation?
тереться об микрофон.
Darling, I'm on holiday.
I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear.
It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said.
The wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel.
Интересно, это сейчас реально блюдо имелось в виду или такой тонкий намек, как вайн? Вита прибежала, вот легла опять рядом, она то туда, то сюда ходит. Они весь день дрыхли. Как только я сел за микрофон, началось бессоёбство. Писки, крики, беготня, шебуршание всякое. Сейчас вот Антон улегся на диван и на меня поглядывает, а Вита опять сюда ко мне пришла.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
Так.
Couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight. Romantic music tinkling across the room. And then, a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner. Those tight trousers.
He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
Дайте угадаю, он сидит на диване рядом, да?
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
О,
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
так, а это не тот, кого я ищу?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My
Да?
God, Tim, that's Merlin.
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no. Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
Угу.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr.
Shocked.
Shaken.
Shaken.
I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor.
You know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
Так. Вот, кажется, и нашел, да? Ключик к ее помощи.
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase.
Смотри, не заканчивается про него.
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would.
And that's why you want the key?
Мгм.
I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case. But a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
Опа! Вот так сразу. Пошла помощь. Давай, дама.
I say! You there? Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Какой ты противный.
You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewelry for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Over to you, my dear.
Какой жеманный. Так. Хватай, беги. Опа. Классненько.
There was no one registered under the name of Khan. If the killer was staying here, he'd used a different pseudonym.
У него еще и затычки.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
Мгм.
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
Так, у меня есть карточка полицейского. Ну-ка попробуем.
Traditional identification.
Rats.
Карточки-то у меня уже нет в инвентаре. Видимо, потому что полицейские отказались от расследования. И карточку у меня
Do you know a
забрали.
man named Plantow?
Non, monsieur.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
Нет, ключи ему не буду показывать. Не хочу
Thanks for your
рисковать.
help, buddy. Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Так, по-моему, их можно заромансить. Вдвоем. В
I don't
смысле,
want to worry you.
их между собой.
You had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Anybody.
Well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have. Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
Видите, рядом
My
сидит,
pants
пищит.
are from England. Marks and Spencer.
Marks and Spencer?
Pleasure
Окей.
and the comfort to wear with my
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons
Что?
for pants.
for everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
Какая прелесть, господи боже.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
Ого.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe.
Даже
Cannot
так?
jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Как интересно.
May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Now, that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there.
Так, я хочу заскриншотить этот
May I
момент.
shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Now, that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there. This is a photo of Khan, right?
That is just one of the names by which he is known.
Так, мы натолкнулись на кого-то очень опасного, да? Так. Давайте поспрашиваем этого чувака во всем.
I cannot guess.
Would it mean anything if I told you it was for lifting drain covers?
Such technology fills me.
What does this clown's nose suggest to you?
In my country, we have no use for clowns.
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleanse.
Господи, какая
What
жесть.
about the mimes? Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mime-free.
Mind
Sounds
free.
like heaven. Does this goo-smeared tissue mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Так, давайте про ключ спросим.
Do you recognize this key?
No, I do not.
Нет, не хочет. Давайте еще с ней.
Goodbye.
Сколько я помню, мы сейчас поднимемся в номер, и там будет небольшой экшон.
Hi, ma'am.
Поэтому хочу здесь закончить сначала.
I got the key. Thanks for your help, ma'am. Did I show you this photograph?
Классно, что когда показываешь второй раз предметы ему, реплики меняются, даже несколько раз могут поменяться.
Do you know what this is?
Yes, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise by a vicious killer.
Ah, Mr. Merlin, perchance.
That's him. Does this tissue mean anything to you?
Good God, no.
I just thought the smell might be familiar.
Please, darling, put it away. I'm no shrinking violet.
Put it away?
Some object makes me feel quite queasy.
Would you like to shake my hand, ma'am?
Now, George, there's no need to be so formal.
Классно, что на это все дают совершенно разные ответы.
Despite the enormous social gulf between us.
Do you want this key?
No, thank you, darling.
Так, значит, не надо романсить. Пойдем наверх. Ап. Сначала телефон.
In the ornate booth was the most elegant public telephone I'd ever seen.
Так, давайте Николь позвоним еще раз.
Bonjour,
Коля.
Hi, it's George. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
I'm fine, thank you. Понятно, пойдем наверх. Так. Дверь.
The sign on the door read 21.
То, что мне надо.
The sign on the door read 22. If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room.
Так, мне 22, а ключ есть 21.
Room number 23. The door was locked. The door was locked. The door was locked.
Слушайте, а то, что у нас персонаж в зеленом пиджаке, не является ли это очень завуалированной отсылкой в Диско Элизиуме? Я правильно помню, что там тоже перс в зеленом, да? Да, он в зеленом пиджаке. Интересненько. Это, конечно, может быть очень потянуто за уши и просто совпадение, но забавно. Ключик.
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key.
Так.
It was a massive mahogany wardrobe. There was nothing in the wardrobe apart from a vague, lingering smell of camphor.
Камфора.
A cabinet stood beside the bed. The cabinet was empty, but it smelled of onions. No kidding, it really did.
Луком.
The window looked out over a narrow alley surrounded by high walls.
Да-да-да, вот это я помню.
If I wanted my shins sticking out of my shoulders, I could have jumped. Mama Stobart didn't raise no suicidal fools, though.
Господи.
If I wanted my
Ой.
shins sticking out of my shoulders, I could have jumped.
Я
Mama
же
Stobart
нажимаю
didn't
на
raise no
поребричек.
suicidal fools, though.
Вот так надо было. Мама Стобарт. Так. Номер Мерлина.
The cabinet had no drawers, just a single door. The assassin had been too smart to leave incriminating evidence beside his bed.
Угу.
The bed was
Какой музон
several
пошел.
times larger than the narrow cot I'd been given at the place I was staying. The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits.
Угу.
It was the battered leather briefcase I'd seen Plantar carrying just before he died.
Чемоданчик.
I searched the interior of the briefcase, but as I'd half expected, it was empty.
Так.
The closet was a solid, impressive piece of antique furniture. The pants were newly laundered and pressed with immaculate creases. There was nothing in the pockets of the pants. The interior of the closet was large enough for me to climb right in.
Так, здесь у нас ничего нету, да? Опа!
I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
А если он за брюками в шкаф полезет? Ага. Ать. Ага.
The pants matched the jacket which the killer had lost in Paris.
Так, что-то нашел, 2 штучки.
I couldn't believe my luck when I found 2 items in the pockets of the pants. The first was an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. The second was a pass card which read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
На фоне игры в кубики. Интересно, какие же это кубики? Те, которые киркой надо ковырять, да?
It was the card I'd found in the hotel bedroom. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Я оставил английскую озвучку, у меня есть русская. Там в начале стрима была заминка, что у меня, оказывается, не переключилась голос. Просто английская, она классная, тут очень классные акценты. Русская, она все-таки от нового диска, древнющая. Вот, и она что-то смущает меня. Это классная. Но тут диалоги, конечно, огромное удовольствие. Club Alamat. Так. Дёру. Не-не-не, я лишь так, для общей информации. У меня там в загашнике тоже игра есть про кубики. Да не та. Однажды мы к ней вернемся. Вернее, не вернемся, однажды ее начнем. Неописуемое удовольствие испытываю от игры. Такая у меня ностальгия от нее. Почему мне кажется, я проходил уже раз 5, что ли. Второй не помню сколько раз, а вот первый прям классно запомнилось.
I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur.
Do you recognize this key?
That is the property of the Hotel Ubu.
Correct.
May I ask how it found its way from the to your pocket?
Would you believe it was put there by a poltergeist?
No, monsieur. The hotel is
Господи,
regularly
божечки.
serviced by an exorcist. If we had a ghost, Father Fécond would have flushed it out.
Отец Фекон.
You want the key back?
Not especially. The room is vacant. Since you are so determined to conduct your little investigation, I won't stop you.
Так.
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure. Can you tell me which room the man in the photograph is taking?
Ой, я тоже спрашивал.
No, monsieur. That information is confidential.
What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is.
Цень, даже услужливый.
Do you recognize this red nose?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this tool?
Stunning, monsieur. I bet you handle it like a
Thanks for your help, buddy.
Так, давай поговорим с
Hello
тобой. Спички.
Does the name on this matchbook mean anything to you?
Indeed it does. For Alamut was the home of the old man of the mountains. You do not know him?
No, I don't. Do you recognize this card?
No, I do not.
Понятно.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Давайте с ней теперь еще раз.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George.
Hello, George.
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has a million faces. I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers. But he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
I'll give him something to be scared of.
О, даже так? Давай. Аристократия в деле. Второй раз. Какие у нее там каблучки.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did. But
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic, you say. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I own the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
Обожаю старые квесты.
You know,
Господи.
I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Так, бумажка.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de monsieur Merlin.
Месье Мерлайл.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
Англо-американский союз, из которого что-то да получилось.
Decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Newport.
30 лет назад, напоминаю. Мир — это долбанная спираль.
She had all the qualities of Boadicea, Elizabeth I, and Margaret Thatcher rolled into one. It wasn't a pretty sight.
В смысле зрелищ не... Ну ладно, не из приятных, но она крутая.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George.
Офигенная
What can I do for you
леди.
now?
Так.
This is what Merlin was so keen to hide.
Ну, историческая шутка в том, что американцы с британцами все время
Some kind of
в
magic
терках,
and it
то в одну, то в другую сторону. И вот в этом контексте все по-прежнему осталось.
what I was thinking.
Игра 96-го года. В 90-х тоже много чего веселого происходило.
No, no, that wouldn't do at all. You'd attract far too much attention.
Так, ладно. Так, а про этого чувака нельзя ей, да, ничего сказать? Никак не заромантить. Ладно, пойдем к Нико.
I have to go, ma'am.
Подожди, тут, по-моему, меня сейчас под белые рученьки схватят. Да.
Just a minute, monsieur.
Just a minute, месье.
No problem. If you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Блин.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Is this what you're after, Guido?
See, that's he.
I can explain everything. Well, almost everything.
Too late. You're on your way to feed the fishes.
I'm allergic to fish. I break out in blotches when I eat tuna.
Let's go.
Опа! Меня грохнули. Пу-пу-пу-пу. Так, свиток у меня? У меня, да. Пойдемте их обходить. Вспомнил о том, что здесь возможен такой исход событий, только когда он произошел. Да? Буквально попался в руки гангста. И... Ну, да, одна из концовок меня просто, видишь, на чекпоинт перекинули. Так, надо вспомнить, как...
Cobbles of the alleyway looked very distant and very hard. If I wanted my shins sticking out of my shoulders, I could have jumped. Mama Stobart didn't raise no suicidal fools, though.
Если я не путаю, то, по-моему, мне нужна простыня. Только я не помню, из какой комнаты. Нет. Так, видите, началось бесоёбство опять.
There was nothing else in the pockets of the killer's pants. The door was locked.
Так.
The door was locked.
Вот и первая ситуация, по-моему. Так.
There was nothing in the wardrobe apart from a vague, lingering smell of camphor.
Так, я не помню, что надо делать. Так. Это опять эта комната. Что делать? Вспоминай. Как спуститься вниз? Стоп, я вспомнил. Не. Мне надо выкинуть свиток. Они же меня обшмонали. Нашли у меня свиток. Надо, чтобы свитка у меня не было. В окошечко. Так. И сюда. Да. Боник.
It was the rolled up manuscript waiting to be retrieved. I figured it was best for me to return to the street before attempting to pick up the manuscript.
Угу. Топ-топ-топ-топ-топ-топ-топ.
Just a minute, monsieur.
Угу. Давай, давай, обыскивай.
No problem. If you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Nothing to worry yourself about.
Search him, lad.
You bet.
Так,
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
сиди.
Nothing, Guido.
Извините за дебош на фоне.
Monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want us to
Вита,
break it
сиди
up?
там на полке, пожалуйста.
Let him go, lad.
Да.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Don't you think you have some explaining to do?
Huh?
I'm an American citizen and a bona fide visitor to your country.
Бонафайт.
The
You
Не
can't
знаю
just be
такого.
up in the street and expect to get away with it.
dead law, freak.
Фу.
Hey, Shorty.
Вита, сижу где хочу. Да-да-да.
Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
No, I never saw it.
Do you know a guy called Merlin?
No,
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
it is just a matchbook. Why should I recognize?
Слушайте, а это не разные ли группировочки? Этот наш Мерлин и вот эти товарищи. Все, улеглась теперь рядышком. Довольная киса? Довольная.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out.
В квартире Нико. Или Нико. Вот она, наша француженка.
You're just not going to believe what
В голубых лодочках.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
It's a medieval manuscript. Khan left it in the safe at the U-Boot.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Two guys on the same horse.
Oh yeah, maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of two knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades.
Ой, а что она без озвучки? Король мог гарантировать христианам безопасный путь в Святую Землю. Безопасный маршрут означал увеличение числа паломников, а паломники — это торговля и процветание. Помощь тамплиеров оказалась для короля бесценной, они стали его наемной армией. Говорят, их никогда не волновало количество врагов, а только то, где они прячутся. Шли годы, тамплиеры становились все многочисленнее и богаче. Они стали настолько богаты, что даже короли брали у них в долг. Но на пике своего могущества они попали в немилость короля Франции. Он схватил их всех и предал инквизиции. Тысячи тамплиеров были подвергнуты пыткам и признались в ереси. Конечно, в руках инквизиции любой признается в чем угодно. Последний великий магистр ордена, Жак де Моле, был сожжен на костре. Но сокровища рыцарей Темплиров так и не были найдены. Сам шторлик без озвучки. Первый был со звуком.
So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years.
600 years.
We're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You'd better leave it here for safekeeping. Think about it, Josh. One guy's already died for it, as you said yourself. Besides, that part
Сейчас заметил, где у нее сушилка.
Okay, I'm convinced. You keep hold of it. Do you want this photograph back?
No, you keep it. I can always make another print.
I found this in the killer's room.
What is it, a credit card?
ID, Thomas Merlin, of the Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Never heard of him, or the company.
I found this matchbook in the killer's hotel room. It's from the Club Alamut.
Never heard of it. Is there anything written inside it?
No, what were you expecting?
If this was a movie, there'd be a clue, a name or an address. That's no use. There aren't even any matches in it.
Oh well, I'll keep it as a souvenir.
Так.
I found Plantow's briefcase in the killer's hotel room. It was empty, of course. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Let's face it, we need help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Who do you suggest? Indiana Jones?
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobino.
Huh. Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient...
Господи, вот это текст.
So worried. Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobino guy?
At the Krohn Museum. I'll give you the address.
Так, музей.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the Wicked Queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said mirror, mirror on the wall, wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid. Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't
Господи.
frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either. A knight with a crystal ball. And there's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
Through my teachings, you will be enlightened. There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover. It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats copper boxes.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod. Maybe I'll check out the Kroon Museum.
I'm sure you'll find it useful, George.
Oh, hi.
Hello, my handsome friend.
Can you tell me anything about this security pass?
I can tell it doesn't belong to you.
How come?
Give me some credit. If you're an electrician, I'll eat my antirhinums.
You're a remarkably talented lady. Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, but I can tell you one thing. There's no such place as the Club à la Mue in Paris.
Угу.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, dear.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
Так, музей Крым.
Through the grimy glass, I could see several large shapes in a gloomy room. What they were, I couldn't imagine.
Мне очень любопытно, повесили ты на лапку те значки по Гарри Поттеру. Они ждут своего часа. У нас просто последние дни были очень сумбурными. Я вот сегодня весь день пытался наконец-то поработать, и нет никакой вообще возможности до сих пор прибраться и реорганизоваться. Лапка висит вот рядышком буквально. Вот я ее сейчас ручкой трогаю, спасибо тебе за нее. Вот, но все значки просто найдем и туда определим. Просто пока не придумали, куда саму лапку повесить. Но это будет сделано. Как только мы туда все нацепим, и обязательно тебе пришлю фотку. Честное слово.
I considered smashing my fist through the pane, wrenching open the window, and bolting triumphantly into the building. Then I thought, no, that's dumb. Besides, I might get hurt.
Все будет.
Access to the side and rear of the museum building was blocked by a dense clump of bushes. A real macho guy would have plunged straight into the spiky, scratchy bushes. Not me.
Так.
It was a statue from ancient Egypt. Those old civilizations sure could teach us a few things about art and beauty. The statue didn't deserve to be mauled by a Philistine like me. A metal rod attached to the wall was connected to the window.
Attention! Please do not open the window, monsieur.
Don't you think it's kind of stuffy in here?
Better stuffy than dead.
What's the problem? Fumes from car exhausts?
Not just that, monsieur. There's a new burger bar opened up across the street. The Laughing Buffalo.
So what's the problem?
They cook their burgers on a charcoal grill. And the fat falls on the open plate. The amount of organic compound and smoke particles released is astounding. Since they open, local air pollution has doubled. And it stinks like a funeral pyre. That is why I keep the windows closed.
The case contained a collection of rocks. They were all shapes and colors, but they were still rocks. Above them, a sign read, L'âge paléolithique. I tried to sneak my hand inside while the guard wasn't looking, but the case was locked. The case contained some fragments of pottery. They looked to me like broken flower pots. Above them, a sign read, L'âge paléolithique. I tried to sneak my hand inside while the guard wasn't looking, but the case was locked. The case contained 2 rows of silver coins. Each coin on the lower row showed a portrait of a guy with a huge nose. I tried to raise the glass cover of the case, but it didn't budge. I looked down at a collection of tools with wooden handles and tarnished metal blades. There were knives, chisels, and spikes fanned out in a semicircle. I guess there's always been a need for home improvement. It was a large brass urn. There was nothing in the urn. I tried to sneak my hand inside while the guard wasn't looking, but the case was locked. In the case was a spindly tripod, blackened with age and
Мне нравится, что когда находим какие-то важные вещи,
pictured on the manuscript.
звучит определенный звук.
It was 15th century.
Разные звуки причем. Прикольно.
Found in Lochmar at the site of a Knights Templar preceptory. Ireland! Was it? This tripod was found in Ireland.
I will have to ask you to keep your voice down.
I'm sorry, I was excited.
Hey, no! No, monsieur. No.
What's wrong?
You must not handle the exhibits.
I'm sorry. It was an ancient Egyptian sarcophagus with a beautifully painted effigy of its owner on the lid.
Leave it alone. That closet is over 3,000 years old.
Так, туда, значит, можно спрятаться.
Sarcophagus.
Шкафчик.
It was a stone carving from ancient Egypt. I was no desecrator of tombs.
Desecrator of
The
tombs.
attendant had an air of self-importance and the kind of steely eyes that never seemed to blink. Pardon me,
Oui, monsieur?
are you Lobino?
Oh, no. Fancy you mistaking me for him. No. I am the deputy custodian.
But Lobino does work here.
Work? I wouldn't go so far as to call it that. He studies here most days, but as you can see for yourself, not today.
Can you give me any further information about the tripod?
Certainly, monsieur. It's infamous. That tripod, that belonged to John D.
John D.
What's the importance of John Dee's tripod?
D was the most famous escapologist of the 16th century. The Houdini of his time.
Don't you mean alchemist? Escapologists use ropes, chains, and handcuffs, not tripods.
But whatever he was, that is the tripod he used in his experiments.
What kind of experiments did John Dee perform with his tripod?
Oh, the usual. Didn't you study chemistry at school?
Yeah, but we skipped over thaumatology. Can I take a closer look at the tripod?
What? Get it out of the case? Ah, no! That tripod is protected by a sophisticated surveillance system.
How sophisticated?
A painfully loud alarm bell.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet. The sophistication is in its simplicity.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
The sign on the tripod says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does?
Yeah. It doesn't mention John Dee at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as a village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Wait, 19 letters of it. The
19.
bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read. So he left him out.
Какая грустная история.
Enroll for adult education.
You know, I never thought of that. Do you see? If I studied art and did all my homework, I could be a professor of history.
At your age? Dream on. Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar, although people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park the... No. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar, not like Monsieur Lobineau.
What can you tell me about the collection of coins?
A rare example of silver coinage from the reign of Philippe le Bel. That little org lay buried for centuries in a field on the outskirts of Paris. They're unique. Nothing like them has been found anywhere else in Europe.
Who was Philippe le Bel?
You don't know?
Philippe le Bel.
Philippe IV, the King of France.
Wasn't he the guy who wiped out the Knights Templar?
I have no idea, monsieur. All I know is he was King of France. I don't even know why he was called Philippe le Bel.
What can you tell me about the collection of pottery?
Those are remains of pots used by the original inhabitants of Paris. The Paris pot people.
When did they move out?
15,000 years ago, monsieur. Vanished in the mists of time. Didn't even have time to pack up their pots.
I thought the original inhabitants of Paris were a tribe known as the Parisi.
That is right, monsieur. Renowned for their pots. You see, in those days, people didn't have much in the way of possessions. A few flints, some animal skins, maybe the odd bone or two. Naturally, when the Parisi came along with their pots, why, everybody wanted one.
I guess they must have caused a kind of consumer.
Yeah, oui, they connect the market, cleaned up.
You don't know the first thing about those pots, do you?
No, monsieur.
Прекрасно.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur. Is there any reason why I should?
I guess not. What does this tool mean to you?
That belongs in a museum.
Pardon?
It is a priceless historical artifact, if I am not mistaken.
No.
Да, ты, конечно, сильно оторван от жизни, мужик.
Do you recognize this red nose?
I don't think so.
What do you make of this tissue?
It is absolutely disgusting, monsieur.
Would you like to shake my hand?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
Oh no, I don't frequent places like that.
Do you recognize this ID pass?
No.
Thanks for your help.
Так, а не надо ли мне его отвлечь для того, чтобы забраться в саркофаг? Приготовим ужин на завтра обед из запчастей картошки, курочки. Теперь в квартире вкусно пахнет. Эй, запеченные запчастей, почему я запеченные прочу? Есть я открыл. Классно, когда он отвернулся. Да-да-да-да-да-да-да. Прячься, прячься, прячься. Чего?
Don't even think of climbing in there, monsieur. You'll be suffocated.
I always wondered how it felt to be a mummy.
Так. Видимо, я не успеваю. Так. Есть, успел. Класс. Куда же пропал посетитель?
I could be here for hours.
Блин, серьезно? Так. Меня сейчас палит?
Don't
Да.
open it. Remember the burning cattle.
Давай, отвернись. Уйди.
Don't open it. Remember the burning cattle.
Я не могу его закоротить. Что же мне сделать? Что же мне сделать? Может быть, мне надо спрятать домкрат в этой штуке?
Don't open it. Remember the burning cattle.
Хотя, на самом деле, я уже почти 3 часа стримлю. Надо бы прерваться. Сейчас еще раз попробуем.
Remember the burning cattle.
Давай, иди. Так, так, так. Не получилось. Нет, и эту штуку он туда тоже не прячет. Если так сделать... Ой.
The tripod was definitely the one on the manuscript. The Templar connection confirmed it. I was tempted to go to Ireland to check it out.
Тянул в Ирландию, да? А не надо ли нам в музей вернуться для этого сначала? Блин, вот вспоминаю вот это про картошку и курочку. Прям самому очень хочется. По моим воспоминаниям, мы были в этом музее еще в ночи. Но как я к этому ночному музею приду, я не помню. Еще, Ань, смотри, если ты на стриме. Глянь, какая подуха лежит на кровати.
I found the tripod.
Where?
In the museum. It belonged to the Templars. It was dug up in Ireland at a place called Loch Marn.
I have heard of Lochmarn. I read an article about the castle. Take a look for yourself.
Так. Какой на стол уселся.
A popular gossip magazine. You read that rubbish?
No, I write it.
О. Отношения у них явно не задались.
Professor Nigel Pegram, excavating the medieval castle at Loch Marn. That's strange.
What?
He resigned his chair at Durham University in order to devote his time to the excavation. Not only that,
Вообще ни разу не похож на Индиану Джонса.
of his popular television program. This site at Loch Marn must be awful important to him.
He's a professor of history. They're all cuckoo.
All the same, I'd like to talk to this Professor Pegram. How do you feel about a trip to Ireland?
Disappointed
Huh?
that I won't be going. I want to follow up the Bellotta case. If you really think Peakram's dam is important, why don't you visit Lochmarn?
On my own? I'm not so sure about that. Where is Ireland exactly? What do you know about Professor Pegram?
I've seen a television program, Peakram's Past. He's written a book, The Crusader Families of Ireland.
I'll bet he'd be interested in the manuscript. Let's take another look at the manuscript. That's the tripod in the Crew Museum.
Все остальное мы
There's a woman looking at her
смотрели
reflection
уже.
in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
Нет, 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 нет. Да блин, что же я не то нажимаю-то? Видимо, явно устал.
Yeah, you showed me before.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Keep me informed if you find anything new.
Oh, hi.
Hello, my handsome friend.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
Так, на карте еще одна точка была какая-то. О, кафе заколотили уже. Да. Быстро пробрались. Аэропорт. О, я могу сразу полететь в Ирландию. Ну, давайте. Какая прелесть. Блин, трехмерная машинка. Какая же там в оригинале была? В упор не помню. Интересно, сейвы из игры в игру переносятся? Из версии в версию, имею в виду.
Several hours later, I arrived in Ireland, the Emerald Isle. I'd been lucky to get a bus from Dublin to the tiny village of Lochmarn. On the way out, the driver told me there was only one service a day.
Так, мы прибыли в Ирландию, в Новую Локу. И думаю, это хороший момент для того, чтобы отложить игру до следующего раза. Потому что я помню, что там в кафе очень много всего будет происходить. Поэтому, наверное, на этом сегодня всёшечка. О, класс, автосейвы есть. Прикольно. Вот. И продолжим уже в следующий раз. Тогда всем спасибо, кто заглядывал. Всем спасибо, кто будет смотреть. Аня, тебе личное, персональное. Пока-пока. Надеюсь, тебе попадутся классные кубики в Майнкрафте. Плюшки, привет. До скорого. Пока-пока. Да-да-да, мы тоже ждем крафтовый стрим. На подходе. Скоро будет. До скорого.